The young man looked at the enemy through the scope. He could easily take out the enemy with just a slight movement of his finger. But he couldn't do it, because once the shot was fired, not only would the commander be disciplined, but the entire military district would be in trouble. So the young man vented his anger by aiming at the flagpole on the ship. The next second, the enemy troops were scared by the gunshot and scattered in all directions. This also alerted the nationalist troops, but because the distance was too far, they observed for a long time and still couldn't figure out where the shot had come from. The young man didn't stop. Although he couldn't shoot at the enemy, he had to let the enemy know his anger. At this moment, the enemy officer loudly scolded the nationalist troops for not playing by the rules. He said that they had handed over all their weapons, yet someone was shooting at them in secret. The nationalist officer was in a difficult position. He immediately ordered his soldiers to find the target and said that once they found it, they would shoot to kill. Suddenly, hundreds of guns were ready and waiting. They thought the young man would stop, but he continued to shoot at the flag on the ship to vent his anger. The enemy troops, seeing that the young man was only shooting at the flagpole and not at them, were so relieved that they started singing happily. The young man instantly remembered the scene of his sister being bullied, so he shot and destroyed the loudspeaker in one go. The enemy troops were stunned. At this moment, the nationalist troops discovered his location and ordered their soldiers to shoot at him. Suddenly, all the guns were firing at the tower. Bullets rained down on the tower like raindrops, but the young man still lay flat on the tower. The enemy officer, seeing their own people fighting each other, actually started dancing on the ship. The young man looked at the enemy through the scope. He really wanted to shoot and take him out. Just then, the commander rushed over. Seeing the nationalist troops shooting at the young man, he tried to stop them urgently, but they didn't listen. At this moment, the young man had already made up his mind to sacrifice himself, but thinking about how it would involve the commander, he finally didn't pull the trigger. So he aimed at the box on the enemy's chest. With this shot, the enemy was stunned on the spot. Before he could react, the young man fired another shot. Watching the ashes scatter all over the ground, the enemy troops completely fell apart. The young man's eyes were very determined. Suddenly, the tower was destroyed. And just like that, the young man sacrificed himself.